Hey guys, how y'all doing? It's me, Blake Morse, your reviews editor from Shacknews. I'm here with my buddy George Spanos. He is the sound director for Digital Extremes, and we're here at TennoCon 2018, and we're here to talk about everything audio. How are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here. It's a big crowd. It's fantastic.
I guess let's just get right into it. So, as a sound designer, it's your job, anything audio related goes through you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically what happens is the creative director will have ideas about, quests or new Warframes or new weapons. And they'll talk to the animators about things, they'll talk to level designers, and then of course we'll have to add sounds to things. And so anything that you hear in the game, we've made a sound for. So yeah, it's basically the whole game.
It's all the pews. You make all the pews.
All the pews, all of that stuff is all us. Yeah, and it's great fun because it's always something different and it's always something new.
Nice. Yeah, I actually earlier, I sat in on your sound design panel, and you had a bunch of footage of you guys out in the snow, just throwing rocks down on sheets of ice and stuff like that. Is that all for the new all the new Venus content?
Yeah, it's for a bunch of, we actually recorded that obviously in the winter. So we've used it here and there for different things, even for footsteps. So footsteps, in snow and footsteps on ice and that kind of a thing. And you never know too, sometimes what happens is a sound that you don't normally think would be good for something often is. So let's say cracking ice, for example, that might be a great layer in a weapon sound. So, you fire the weapon and there's this ice sound in there that gives it a, kind of a thing. So that's another reason we do those recording sessions.
Nice. So a lot of it's just sort of taking what you record and then layering it, adding effects, all that fun stuff.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of it is layered, and a lot of it, we pride ourselves in doing our own custom sound design and recording of things to give the players a unique experience that you don't hear anywhere else. So, yeah.
Nice. Now, what have you been focusing on here at TennoCon 2018 as far as the content you've been showing off?
Yeah, the sound panel, we had, we showed a bit of the stuff you talked about, the sound design, some music stuff as well. I write some of the music along with Keith Power, and so we were showing some of that. Showing some of the voice actors. We had Lucas and Max, who are both, Max is Ballas and Lucas is Nefanyo and Tyle Regor. And so they were here to do their voices live for the audience, and which is interesting. People always love that. And Cole, who is a DE employee, he voices Alid V, Vor, and a whole bunch of other characters. So yeah, we're talking about all that stuff.
Nice. Yeah. Now let's start with the voice actors. So, unlike most games, you guys are constantly having the voice actors come in and out and do new dialogue. Most of the times, it's just kind of an in and out thing for them.
Yeah. For the actors, for sure. And I mean, it's one of those things. Sometimes if it's someone from within DE, it's great because we can do multiple takes and we can get them to come back if the writers write a new line. But a lot of the actors we work with are from all over the world, really, and so we look for the right voice for the right part, and we'll sift through 60, 70, 80 auditions to find the right new character. So and they'll do that part. And sometimes, again, some of the actors will do multiple characters. So it just really depends if the voice fits the right role.
Nice. Now, I imagine you have a lot of people constantly asking you, how do I audition? How do I become a voice actor?
It's a tough thing to get into, but once you're there and then you kind of know some of the tricks of how to get your voice out there, it becomes easier. But definitely one tip is to just always keep practicing what you're doing to get your voice out there. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it, and the more that you have a chance of people hearing you. And you know what? Just Google it too. Google voice acting, and there'll be tons of sites that'll come up, and you can audition for them and get your voice out there. You don't have to have a huge professional recording studio. You don't have to have an agent. You just have to have the talent and the drive to make it happen.
All right, I think I'm ready to audition.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What do you need?
Yeah, a crazy Grineer speaking crazy Grineer language. He pops out of the ground and he's ugly and disgusting. What does that sound like?
I'm gonna blow you up with this here grenade. It's gonna blow you up real good. Oh, it's gonna go down.
Yeah, I think, hey man, let's do it.
All right, sweet. My first voice acting gig, nailed it. Yes. All right. Now one of the cooler things, like during the keynote, you guys are, you revealed Venus, and you're coming down. You have this like awesome like chain gang song going.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. We, the creative director and I believe Jeff, the animation director, they had this crazy idea of like, they came to me and they're like, hey, let's do like a musical chain gang thing. And at first I was like, oh, that's interesting. But one thing that Warframe always does is we're always trying to do something new and interesting. And so it's like, hey, let's try it. So what we did was we looked at a bunch of different kind of animated series. What's the one, the ice, not Ice Age, I forget the name of it. Anyway, where they've got the picks in the ice and they're working and this kind of a thing. And so that was a big part of like what we were thinking of doing. So we knew that we needed multiple voices. So what we did was we went to our composer, Keith Power, and we got him to do a little mock-up. So what he'll do is he'll go on the piano and he'll write a little melody. So he sends us the melody and we'll listen to it and we critiqued it and he worked on it a little more and we got it to a good place that we liked. And then we were like, okay, now we need lyrics for this thing. And so we gave him a bunch of ideas, a bunch of words for it, cold, working, all of that kind of stuff. And so he wrote lyrics for it. And then I said to him, hey, okay, so wouldn't it be super cool if we hired a bunch of singers to really sing this? So he's like, yeah, let's do it. So he went into the studio. He hired 3 or 4 different singers to sing it. And what they do is it's multi-tracking. So they'll record multiple voices, multiple recordings of the same character, of the same person, so that they can layer it. So that you feel like you have this real big choir. And it builds as it goes. It starts with whistling, then it goes into humming, and then all of them kind of join in, and it really feels like it's this big chain gang. And then we put in working sounds of like the guys with the big levers and the guys hitting the ground, and so it's all in musical time, and it all kind of works well together. And if you would have asked me like a year ago if we'd be doing this Warframe, I'd be like, I don't think so, but hey, here we are. It's awesome. And honestly, I think it's one of the coolest things we've done in a long time musically. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it sounds killer. I was like, oh man, did they bring in Lord or something?
Yeah.
Like that?
No, I wish. No. We had Keith knows a bunch of singers. I think he sang on it a bit too as well. So he layered himself in there as well. And then we got the recording and we put into the game. So yeah.
Well, it sounds awesome. The game is looking awesome. I guess my one last question is like creating environments, ethereal environments. You have so many different planets and outer space and all these different places you can go. Like, what's the process for you building like the ethereal backdrops for these?
Yeah, well, we look at a lot of the concept art. That's a big motivating factor for us, because just to see what the artists envision, because a lot of the time what happens is we can't wait till the end until it's all built and ready to ship, because it's ready to ship. So we try to think ahead, and so we look at the concept art and we go, okay, Plains of Eidolon, okay, well, we need a lot of grass, and we need rocks, and we need, water, and we need all these sounds. So we'll go out and we'll gather all that stuff, we'll record it, bring it back into the studio, and make soundscapes out of it, and make sure that as the player's walking through these different areas, you hear different things. The main tenets that we always try to adhere to is always something different for the player as they're traversing. So you really feel like you're going through this world, and that's basically how we build it. And it's a lot of work, but I think we get some good results out of it. Nice. Always happy. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Well, Warframe's out now, guys. You can go, you can download it, you can play it now. When's the next expansion hitting?
You know what? I don't know anything about dates.
All right.
They don't tell me that stuff.
They don't tell you that stuff.
They lock me in a dark room, and I make sounds all day. That's it. Yeah.
They're like, just get back to playing on your keyboard.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Just keep playing the music, buddy. Yeah.
Play those woodwinds on the synth. Come on, leave us alone.
Exactly. A little bit of the woodwinds on the synth. Do it for Shacknews.
All right. We'll see y'all later.